Well, Happy New Year. I hope that as you begin January that you're already thinking about some ways that you can enhance your life's meaning, purpose, and the skill that you have both professionally and personally. Now, I know for me that although a good paycheck does go a long way, it's not everything. In fact, the thing that comes out of work for me the most that's the joy is the ability to be creative, to connect with other people who are like-minded, and to have the resources to do a job well done. And I'm very grateful that that's the kind of job I have. But what I know about physicians is that is not always the case. In fact, if anything, you may feel over the past few years that instead of growing into more autonomy and rewards, as you rightly should in any career, that you're actually getting things taken away from you. Now, ACMS has spent a lot of time over this past year developing resources to help medical professionals become more resilient. And I'm very proud of the fact that we've just finished launching our Physician Vitality program to that end. But I also recognize that just helping you become more resilient or mindful isn't quite enough. In fact, although those are good coping mechanisms that any doctor should have developed during residency, what really needs to happen in the medical industry is systematic change. What do I mean by that? Well, I often revert to telling the story of the Israelites under the slavery of Pharaoh in Egypt. And as you may remember, the Israelites demanded their freedom at some point, but Pharaoh says, stop complaining, get back to work, and by the way, you need to make more bricks, but I'm not going to give you more straw. Now, that sounds to me a whole lot like, well, we're just going to have to learn to do more with less. Has anybody ever heard that? Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about avoiding efficiency or fending off the use of new technology. And of course, in some seasons of recession or contraction, doing more with less may be a matter of survival. But when that season grows into a year and resources are constantly eroded and the frontline worker takes the brunt of doing more with less, at some point you have to say, enough! Now, I'm not an artist, but I can imagine our cartoon where Pharaoh leans down to one of the slaves and says, we're launching some resilience classes, but you still need to make more bricks. Whoosh! No. What you need are the tools and knowledge to help you change the system that you work in, whether that's at a practice or department or employer or even industry level. I don't want you as a physician just to achieve wellness in your life. I want you to have a sense of vitality and excitement about your work, that you're an important contribution to the health of our community and our nation, not just some cog in a poorly oiled machine. So that's one of the things that we're going to focus on here at ACMS this coming year. And if you're interested in keeping in tune with that, go ahead and click on the link below, subscribe to our Pearls of Great Value video podcast. And in the meantime, if life has degraded because of your work to a point where you're miserable, please do not ignore the symptoms of burnout. Check out our resources in the Physicians Vitality Center. And above all, talk to somebody. I'm sure they will help you share your burden. Happy New Year.